Exclusive to Jacaranda FM. It's The Drive with Rob and Roz. Jacaranda FM.
The Drive with Rob and Roz. We are very, very happy this afternoon to be chatting to a man I've been listening to for years and years, and I'm so glad he's coming back to South Africa. Xavier Rudd, nice to meet you. Nice to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Oh, man. When I heard you were coming back, I was like, I cannot wait to go and see it, because February next year is the return, the third tour to South Africa. You've just come off the back of a whole bunch of traveling yourself, a couple of awards under the belt. How are you feeling at the moment, mate?
Yeah, I feel good, man. I feel really good. Just happy to get to South Africa again. It's not a place that's easy to get to, so it's always special when the opportunity arises. So yeah, I'm really pumped, excited to come back over that side and share some music with you guys.
Xavier, there's some new music out now. High Times came out a couple of weeks ago, and people are really loving it. You make music that I've listened to your stuff, and you make people kind of just escape for a bit. You know, there's so much going on in the world, and the stuff that you're writing and the things that you're performing really is a bit of a kind of departure from all the heaviness we have to deal with. Do you write that like that on purpose?
Oh, thanks, Roz. That's nice to hear. I don't feel like I do anything really on purpose. It's just kind of what happens. I feel pretty stoked and pretty blessed in the world. There's so much struggle in the world, and I feel like when I make music, I like to shine a bit of light, where I can, and I feel very honoured when people share experiences with my music, where they've used it in a serious ceremony in their lives, whether it be a marriage or a funeral or a birth or something that's really important. And I guess I feel like my music is it's just a time to celebrate all the good things that we have. Not to say that all of my music it comes from that place, but it seems to roll that way often.
I feel like, Xavier, there's a lot of, as you say, the music comes from a place where often you just feel like you need to speak about what's going on in your brain. And you've always sort of felt, ever since I discovered you in your music, it's felt like you've been very connected to what's going on around you and with people and with the planet and it feels like you just have things to say. Has that sort of always been part of you? Did you discover it at some point? Because people like to throw that word activist about, but it's people who are being honest about themselves and what they see. Was there a moment for you?
Not really, man. I mean, I guess my music, it was always a documentation of what was going on around me ever since I was a little kid, and it was my own kind of private thing that I was shy and I didn't really share it, but it was something that I did for myself. I'd write little songs about what was happening around me ever since I was small, and I never planned on that being like a commercial thing. So what I do now is an extension of that. I write about experiences that are happening around me, things that I feel, and it just somehow in time started to resonate with people and became kind of popular, but the way that I write it never changed. It's always been, I appreciate the success of it, but the way I write it is exactly the same as I did when nobody was listening to it. It was just something that I would write and document for myself, and sometimes that would be like a personal kind of emotional experience maybe that I was having or someone around me was having. Or oftentimes I think it's the spirit of land and culture coming through me in a different way, and my ego and my personal human presence isn't really part of it. I'm just sort of guiding it. Sometimes it feels like that. But whatever way it is, I really honor it in the sense that I try not to let my ego get in the way, and I try and let the music just be pure. I guess the way I like to explain it is, if you took your grandmother to church, you just take her to church, you don't tell her what to wear. And it's kind of like that, I try and let the music come through me, be purely about what it's about, and not change it for any reason other than, and just let it be its raw thing, and just put it in, put it out, and whatever people make of it is what they make of it.
I think that's why so many people do connect with your music, because it comes from a place of you kind of creating something that you are proud of and that you enjoy, and you put it out there. And if people are going to connect with it in whatever way that they do, then that's a bonus, I guess, for you.
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. And like I said before, to hear my music be used by people in a special time in their journey is the biggest compliment that I can ever receive. So I feel so honored to hear how it does resonate with people. But it's real, we all come from, we all have our struggles. We have our on different levels, but we all have stuff that we've taken from our ancestors, from the history of our people as humans, and we're always healing human beings, and I guess I touch on that in my music, and people can relate to that, right? Because it's real. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. We struggle. We come from struggle, and we have to, acknowledge it and try and support each other, and also really give thanks for the good times.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, knowing a bit about where you come from and the Indigenous Australian communities you're associated with, and the work you've spoken about vegetarianism and veganism and food and so on. And it feels very connected to the earth, and it feels very connected in a way that we can all do a bit better with each other without being preachy and shouty and political about it. Because at some point we all just want to be seen and respected as people. And I feel like that comes across in your music and how you put yourself out there as well.
Yeah, man. I don't pretend to know anything. I don't know anything. I just assume what I assume, and I try my best, I guess, like everyone else. I definitely don't like to force any kind of ideals or anything down people's throats. I respect everyone's personal journeys, and everyone knows what's best for them. But I do feel like it's important that we acknowledge that we all have stuff, and we're all dealing with stuff on a day-to-day basis. It's just how it is for human beings, and I guess my shows kind of feel like that a forum where it's not just me entertaining everyone. I'm part of it. I might be channeling the sound, but it's just it's a sense of unity. It's a sense of one people coming together from all sorts of backgrounds and cultures and struggles, and everyone just kind of being on one level and shaking it off a little bit for a while, and acknowledging that, none of us are perfect. None of us are any better than anyone else, and we're all just having a crack.
You really are.
We want to chat a bit about the shows, actually, because South Africa is lucky enough to have you come visit us in February, and the venues that your shows are going to happen in are just so well suited to the type of music you would want to hear in that kind of outdoor environment. So how excited are you about coming back to South Africa?
Oh, I'm pumped for so many reasons, sister. Like, I one, I'm in awe of your country. I'm in awe of the stories and the people and the history, the pain and the excitement and the power, that comes from that place. I was fortunate enough to travel for 2, 3 years, 5 years with one Southern Sutu man who played bass with me, and another Kosa man who played drums with me, and we did a record. I did a record with the late Lucky Dubé's rhythm section at one point, and Uncle Tio, the bass player, he ended up living with me for 5 years, and he married an Australian woman over here. So I got this insight into your culture over there, and I listened to those guys sing traditional songs, and I feel like they injected something really strongly into my bones. So when I go to the homeland of those beautiful friends, I feel honoured, for one. So even though they're not going to be with me on stage, they're with me in spirit in that place. And everyone else I've ever met from South Africa is cool. Like, people are cool from South Africa. I like it. Like, I don't know, like, I've never lived there, but the people I seem to meet around the place are cool. So I'm excited.
Xavier, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. He is going to be in South Africa in February next year. The shows kick off Wednesday, the 21st in Durban. 21st of Feb, it's going to be at the Playhouse Opera Theatre. Then down to Cape Town on Friday, the 23rd at Kirstenbosch in the Botanical Gardens, which is beautiful. And then wrapping up on Sunday in Johannesburg, where we will see you at Marks Park in Emmarentia. Xavier, thank you so much for your time, man. We really appreciate it. We can't wait to see you in a couple of months.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Exclusive to Jacaranda FM. It's The Drive with Rob and Roz. Jacaranda FM.